Hey, I've got a couple minutes left. I'm going to do another source code read through. Fun little note over here though, like check out these turkeys. They're like pecking around. They're just running around over here doing what turkeys do. They just woke up from a nap or whatever it is, resting. All right. It has nothing to do with Flex. All right, so let's look at Flex. I'm going to see if I can what I can do in under 10 minutes. All right, so first of all, Flex is a way to build. Maybe I need to go to the docs website because it seems like a lot of is there. All right, so you can render server-side views and you do it writing Ruby. Um, I'm teaching a whole course on it, beautifulruby.com. This is the website. It shows kind of basic Flex components. Um, Maybe I have some in the source code that I've written for that. I don't. This is not great for my um, demo here. All right, so let's see if we can pull up a quick kind of example of what this looks like. Yeah, so here's a comment with an H1 in there. There's some raw output, helpers, attributes. All right, yeah, here's a decent example, right? This is a link. We have a class in it. You can pass buttons and booleans in there and so on and so forth. That took a whole minute. All right, let's dive into the source code and let's see what we can find out about this thing. All right, so up here I have the core class, and let's just open up the README here. I think it's pretty, yeah. All right, saying, hey, go to the website for the docs. Docs are actually pretty good on the website. But let's go ahead and start at the root file here and see what's going on. Oh, nice, we got ERB. So this thing works with ERB set. We're using Zeitwerk to load stuff automatically, and I can see we have CSV, so this thing can deal with that, HTML. Looks like we have some caching here. A lot of constants going on here, and that's interesting. We have a attribute cache. Looks like we have flex.html. Oh, that's cool. So I'm guessing we could do something like this, flex.html do h1, probably something like this, and it would emit HTML outside of that. Maybe, I don't know. Be fun to try out. Looks like the same thing for SVG. I like this. Haha, this is funny. So this means we could call that, right? .html, h1, and that would return HTML. Let's try this. This is kind of cool, right? Herb, require flex. That is fun. There's a little Easter egg for you. Uh, all right, but enough of the Easter eggs. Let's get back and reviewing the source code and see what's going on here. Okay, I think HTML is important because that's kind of what this whole thing is about. So let's open up HTML. We can see it's inheriting from SGML. SGML is actually like the superset of HTML. It's kind of like this old school standard, and HTML is a subset of it. I don't know if a ton of people know that. This is like, looks like you can inline SVG into Flex. We have our content type tags. So I think these are like kind of fundamental tags for like, hey, we're gonna be building up the string. I see a buffer. We got standard elements. We have an attribute cache. I'm not really sure what is done there. I'm sure I know there's like a ton of performance hacks that go into this thing to get it going super fast. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at SGML, I guess, since that's the thing that's inheriting from. Yeah, that's kind of the base class. And it looks like there's some herb stuff going on in here. We have call, new, so we can create instances of this. There's, again, some stuff that we can do with herb in Flex. I see an herb compiler. There's view template. So we have some deprecation messages here. It looks like if you run call on an instance of HTML, that's the thing that actually like starts the rendering. And you pass a string into it. We have this state thing here, which is the buffer. User context. All right, this looks like there's a state machine probably around the string. Yeah, cool. Or we have fragment IDs. I'm not really sure what the fragment stuff is for. I think there's like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna speculate on it. Let's keep rolling here though. We have attributes. So this looks like escaping stuff. These, like we see these in HTML, right? You see these glimpses of quote and all that stuff. Let's look at elements. Comma separated tokens. That's kind of cool that this works from SGML. So, all right, we have some meta programming here and it's saying register element. I'm guessing this is like where you register H1, P, all that fun stuff, all the tags. So yeah, we have our tokens. We can see like we're adding our corner brackets there and doing all sorts of escaping. All right, so this is some metaprogramming to get stuff. I'm guessing to register elements, right? So let's see what's going on here. All right, this looks like okay. Now we're in HTML standard elements. This I'm recognizing stuff here. I have an article element, aside, audio, block quote, body. These are all HTML elements, and this is how we can. A turkey just flew up into a tree. These take blocks. So yeah, like we have body and you can have tags within body. So I'm guessing void elements are things you can't, like BR, HR. Yeah, all right. So these don't take blocks. So that's our HTML that we're building up. Cool. Uh, what should I look at next? I'm sure like SVG. Okay, cool. All right, so that also inherits from SVG. I'm not really sure that module there, but um, all right, so we have SGML. Okay, so that's including standard elements, different content. All right, so what's coming into picture here is that HTML is like the superset that Phlex is modeling, and subset, you have HTML. This is a subset of SGML. It registers its tags, HTML tags, same thing for HTML. And compiler, do I want to open this? I don't think I do right now. I don't care about a compiler. This looks like comma separated values. Yes, that looks like a buffer. Cool. Helpers, mix. All right, so I've used mix before, and that's just like I've worked with these methods, transform, grab. This is the thing that if you need to get a variable by the name of class, you can call this method and get the thing. All right, I got to keep rolling because I got like 3 minutes. I got to wrap this thing soon. So, all right, I think I'm getting a rough idea of like how that works at a root, and it's just building up a string. So let's check out another gem, Flex Rails. Is that gonna work or is that okay? Here we go. All right, let's see what this one is about. This is obviously a Flex Rails integration, so let's have a look at that. Flex Rails views. Actually, I want to look in here. So we have Flex Rails. We're opening up Flex/Rails. Okay, I see SGML in here again. All right, this is kind of getting into to Railsy stuff here, right? So call render. We have renderables in here, so we're saying like, okay, if you call render and you pass in something that's flex, it will actually call up to the, let's see. Oh, I see. This is a module. So I think what this module is doing is it's going to extend SGML with kind of this Rails special sauce. And I'll bet if I search for this, we'll see an include somewhere. Yeah. So, okay. All right. This makes sense now. So we have HTML. There's got to be an HTML file in here. No. Flex Rails. Where is HTML? Where are you? All right. Well, oh, it's right here. So class HTML. Cool. All right. And we're extending it with some Rails integrations. Let's see what the helper macros are. Okay, so we have some more macros here. I'm guessing these methods are being called somewhere. All right, so this looks like a macro that's being used to get, oh yeah, these are all Rails helpers. So these are the includes that interface Flex with Rails helpers. We have output helpers. Let's see what form looks like, because I'll bet that's builder yielding helper. All right, so that checks out. If you think about it like a Rails form has to build up these forms with a bunch of different blocks. Um, so that's pretty cool. I have like 30 seconds left. I gotta figure out how to land this thing and see if I can figure anything else out about this. But there's a lot going on. It's pretty low level. It looks like at the end of the day, Flex is taking a string and you're calling a bunch of methods, and whenever you call a method on it, like a tag method, it's appending to that string. Obviously, there's some kind of ERB integration. I'm sure it's in the documentation, but this this stuff, it looks pretty low level, and I guess that's to be expected. But it's pretty cool to see how it's integrating like or inheriting a subset of HTML.